fucking light every time. Ooh. I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking cold. Today's March 7th? I don't know. It's a Tuesday though. And I don't have work. Because I started a new work schedule. Not a new job, but a new work schedule. Where in which I work every other day for 3 days out of the week. Not gonna lie, it's fucking nice. But at the same time, I don't have so much free time on my hand. And free time lately has done nothing but bring me down. Just because that's when things really settle in, that for me things don't matter, and what am I doing with my life, and this and that and all that shit. Goodness. Well, I had a whole bunch of shit to say, and it feels like it all just went out the window. I just talked to Donovan, and on Sunday I had a really long talk with my mother. And I just feel really tired and really exhausted. And it feels as though I'm not getting much help from God, even though I feel like I'm doing stuff, and I feel like I'm trying to do things that I think matter to me, you know. But it just doesn't feel like I have a reason to do any of it. It doesn't feel like I have a genuine reason. It just feels like I'm doing things for the sake of doing them. And so I spoke with my mom, and I just pretty much laid it all on the table that I really feel like God has no interest in me, and God is more concerned with what it is that He wants for me than where I am in life or what I'm going through. Just feels like God is such a huge authority figure that's there to look down on me and make me feel worse about wanting to do things my way than just forfeiting and deciding that my life is nothing without God and giving everything to Him. I really don't want to do that. I have no desire whatsoever to give in, to say I can't do it, to humble myself to God. And the reason why is because I feel like God doesn't need me one way or another, and God is too good to ever humble Himself to me. You know, if I want to be happy in this existence, it feels like I need to play by God's rules, and if I don't want to, then God will just go fuck yourself, you know. My mom tells me God loves me. Everybody tells me God loves me. It's just so hard to feel it, and I really don't like the fact that everybody goes, well, God's loving you through me, God's loving you through this, through that. I think it's bullshit. I feel like God should love me, you know what I'm saying? Not by wanting to change me or by wanting things to be different than how I have them. I want to know that God cares about me before I make a move. Not because I make a move, you know. I feel like God should love me regardless. It should be unconditional. I should feel like He's got my back regardless of the moves that I make. And I can tell myself that all that I want, but it really doesn't feel that way. So, just stressing to my mom where I am in life and what I'm going through, and we had a really, really long conversation. And honestly, afterwards, I wasn't left feeling much better. I was very depressed a couple days ago when I called her. Still am, if we're being honest. Yesterday I went to work, and I went to the gym, and when I got food with my dad, and so yesterday there wasn't too much time for me to sit around and think about how I feel and stuff. But today, now that I don't have work, it's just me with my feelings again. So I was speaking with Donovan earlier today because we're doing training for this upcoming summer sales. And I kind of laid the same thing on Donovan that I laid on my mom, because I know that they're here to help me. I put myself around people that will support me. And so I knew talking to him about this would make me feel different than talking to your mom, just because it feels more, not that my mom hasn't gone through it, it just feels more, it's just nice to talk to somebody who's also going through it, who's in the middle of the pain and hasn't figured everything out for themselves. But not that my mom's pain or what she's gone through isn't authentic. It's just that I didn't get to see it. I didn't get to see her struggle this way. I just get to hear about it. Whereas Donovan, that nigga's in the same boat that I'm in. Regardless of our situations, it's the same shit. We're the same age, going through the same point in life. And so I knew that hearing things from him, first off, I knew everything that he was going to tell me was going to be the same shit that my mom told me. I already knew it. I know that the message will be the same regardless of who I go to. It'll all be the same deal. Give me 1 second. Boop. And so, in speaking with Donovan, I let him know the same shit and how I feel towards God and how I just feel wronged and how I feel like it's bullshit that it has to be my duty to humble myself unto God and change myself so that somebody can love me. Like, I feel like if God really loves me, God should love me. God shouldn't be waiting for me to be better or be more like him or any fucking bullshit for God to show that he cares about me. Either you do or you don't, But the big difference between what Donovan told me and what my mom told me, my mom's found lots of help through God, and she sees him in a different light than I do. Clearly, everybody does, or at least most people do. But when I spoke with Donovan, he kept stressing to me that these problems have nothing to do with God. And that's not to say that God's amazing and God's great and God's perfect and whatever. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got everything to do with how I feel about myself and who I am and what I like, and that's true. I've been knowing that too, you know what I'm saying? But I guess I just feel like I've been trying to do things myself so much lately that that after a while I was just like, well, maybe ask God for help too, and God will help do something. And so I did, and I just don't feel like I'm getting nothing from him. I don't feel like I'm hearing anything. And so I'm upset at that fact that I'm asking you for help and you don't want to, or you do, but only in your way, only in the ways that you know best for me. And that, to me, it doesn't sound like nobody that wants to love me, or it doesn't sound like anybody that wants the best for me. It sounds like somebody that wants me to live for them. It sounds like somebody who wants to be my authority and to be in charge of me, to be able to say, I told you so, I told you you can't do it on your own, I told you you're going to come groveling back, I told you. That's how God feels to me right now. And so for those reasons, I don't want to let go of my pride. As much as I wish I could just be humble, and I lost it. I used to have it. I used to have that humility, and I lost it. But now here I am, and I want to, when I decide to let go of my ego, I want it to be genuine, not just because people tell you, well, that's what you're supposed to do, just fucking do it. I want to have a reason why I'm doing that. I want to be able to believe in something for doing it. But Don told me that that's not, I guess he just stressed to me that forget about God. This ain't got shit to do with God. It's got everything to do with me, and only me. He asked me if I liked myself, and as much as I feel like I'm trying to, I don't. I have too many problems with myself, and something that came up when I was speaking with my mom too is just that I truly have no idea how to forgive myself as a person. I feel like I've grown so much in the last 5 years, um, to the point where I just don't even recognize who I used to be. And so when I look back at that person that I don't even understand anymore, I just get ashamed and I get disappointed, and I have lots of hate for myself, because of the mistakes that I've made, because of the relationships I've lost, or the things that have altered my life. Like, it feels heavy, and I just don't know how to go about forgiving myself or letting things go, even though I know I'm not going to do them again. I feel like I deserve to be in pain, and I deserve to suffer because I hurt Shalise, because I hurt myself. So I feel like I have made such big mistakes that I now have to live with the consequences of them. Um, and I just hate myself for ruining my life. And that's where I've been for the last 5 years and counting. And Donovan just helped me understand that I just got to be positive about things. I got to change the outlook, because right now this is the outlook I've been having forever, and it's not doing nothing for me. It's really not. Once I start to love myself, I should be able to come to accept God, And it's not even that it has anything to do with God. It's just that I myself want to be happy, and I don't want to be angry no more. And I don't want to be sad, and I don't want to hate myself and be frustrated and think I don't deserve nothing. Like, it's hard because I still feel like punishing myself. I still feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I fucked my life up so bad that I don't deserve to be happy. And that's not the case. And Donovan really helped me see that the more you tell yourself these things, it's just the more you will believe them, and the more you will be stuck. And so it all starts with telling yourself a different story, because if the story doesn't change, then how do you expect anything else to change? And I get that, and I fuck with that, and I really value Donovan's opinion because of the fact that Donovan smokes the same way that I do, or smoked the same way that I do. He gets it. He gets what it is to be high like that, and have those thoughts negatively reinforced, to the point where that just becomes your life, and that's all that you hear, and that's all that you tell yourself is just bad things, that things shouldn't be good for you, that you can't get a girlfriend, that you can't be happy, that you need God. That it's the story I've been telling myself, man. I am sick of that story. I'm fucking sick of that story. And even though I don't feel I deserve a different story, I never will until I start getting one, until I start forcing a different story upon myself for no reason, seemingly no reason, the same way that I stopped smoking weed. There was obviously a reason, but I had to jump and have faith that there would be ground underneath me, And it's got to be the same way here, because this story's not doing nobody no good. Don stressed to me that nobody wants me to feel this way. Nobody, even though I hurt and I lost Shalise, even she probably wouldn't want me to feel this way about myself, be in this place in life. Nobody wants this for me. I don't even want this for me. I'm sure God doesn't want this for me. Nobody wants this for me. So I gotta start telling myself some different shit. And for the last couple years, it always feels like winter time is always the most difficult time. It's the time that I have to go through growth and change. And that's kind of a pattern I've come to recognize. And so now every time winter rolls around, I'm like, all right, batten down the hatches. Shit's gonna get difficult. We're gonna have to grow, and we're gonna have to change, and we're gonna have to shed our old skin. And that's never easy. It's never fun, you know. But it's necessary. And so I feel like a couple of years, maybe last year or the year before, I just decided, I can't even remember what it was that I decided. I'm trying to remember. But I remember I made a choice to change, it was about being sad. That was my choice. I decided to stop being sad. Because of the fact that I just got into the bottom of the barrel. It's getting hot in this bitch. I had found everything that sadness had to offer me. Like, after years of exploring everything that sadness had to offer, I finally came to the realization. It was February or January of last year, the year before, can't remember. But I literally stopped and I said, I think we're done being sad. Just because it's a circle now. It don't go no deeper. There's no more depth to it. We hit the rock bottom of what it is to feel sad, and now we're just stuck here. And so we got to do something different because it's not helping. It has stopped being useful. Same way that I feel like weed has stopped serving its purpose for me. And so I guess in the same vein of that choice that I made a few years ago to stop being sad, and obviously that doesn't mean that I'm not sad no more. Y'all see, I am sad, but it's no longer a comfortable choice to resort to being there. You know what I'm saying? Sadness is no longer my base, and it hasn't been, and that's why when I do feel sad, it will hurt now, because I'm trying to get up. I'm trying to be more up than I was. In that same vein, I think, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how you just stop. It's the same way as how the fuck did I just stop being sad? Like, I got to the point where I just didn't want it no more, and something else had to happen, and so something else began to happen. I feel like it's just time for me to start being positive, and it's time for me to stop hating myself. Just because we hit the bottom of the barrel, this is what hating myself brings about, is this sadness, this loneliness, loss of drive, loss of will. This is where that gets me. And so as much as I feel that I deserve to not feel love, or I deserve to be hated because of what I did to myself, it doesn't do anything else besides this. This is the only thing that hating myself gets me to. So I just have to start making a choice to feel like I deserve love, and to feel like I deserve happiness, and to feel like it's okay that I've done terrible things in my life, because I'm no longer that person, and I won't be that person anymore. And even though I hurt people that I loved, and I lost people because of it, I have to move on and just let go of the hate that I have for myself. I don't know how you're supposed to do that. I don't know how I do that, especially because this has been my story. This has been what I've reinforced to myself for such a long time is what I've been telling myself, and the weed has only helped to amplify this story. Uh, Being high will only, all it ever did was just keep me in the loop, keep me in the loop of the feelings that I have and the questions that I don't have answered, and it's time to get out. It's time to get the hell out of here. Like I still haven't smoked. It's fucking Tuesday. It's been wow, it's been 8 days since I've smoked weed. And the truth is, I'm not missing it. I'm not missing it because I know where going back there will do for me. It won't fix nothing. So to me, being away from it's like I don't feel good here, but I know I won't feel good there either. So why go back there? It's going back there will temporarily make me feel happy, and then I'll just get stuck to holding on to that because it felt a little bit good, not genuinely, And it sucks that that's the case because I don't hate weed. I don't have discipline. I don't have it inside of me to use that tool properly, to use it to benefit and better myself. I just don't have that right now, so I can't use it. I don't have enough trust within myself to be disciplined to use those things. So yeah, it's Tuesday and it's been 8 days since I smoked, and I just know that going back there won't solve shit. It just won't solve nothing for me. It'll keep me feeling numb and blind to my situation. Not blind, but it'll make me okay with where I am in life. It'll make me feel okay that I'm down this way, and it'll make me feel okay that I don't have a purpose in life, and we just need better. We need more. We gotta move. We gotta change. Things gotta get different. This has not gotten me a girlfriend. This mindset where I've been, this hasn't gotten me anywhere close to a relationship that I'd like to have with anybody else or with myself, honestly. So I gotta change. Things gotta be different. And it's scary because I feel like I'm going on a walk in a blizzard and I have no clue what the hell's in front of me. I really don't. And so it's scary to be like, you got this, run, you got this. Like, don't worry about tripping, don't worry about no obstacles in front of you. Don't worry about what you'll think about yourself or how you'll feel when things do get down. It's hard to want to jump and to want to make that move because it's hard to have faith that there is anything more for me than this. But that's just because this is all I've known. It's the same shit Donnie keeps telling me about Shalise, is that was a great love. That was a deep love. It was a true love, but it's the only one I've ever felt. So no wonder that I'm stuck on it. No wonder I want it back so bad, because I've yet to experience anything besides that. It's the same shit with my mindset, that I've gotten myself into this big of a rut, and I've convinced myself that this is life. This is what it is, because that's all I tell myself. It's time to change. It's time to change. It's time to be better. It's time to fucking be that phoenix, bro. It's time to be reborn from these ashes that I've just been wading in and drowning in for the last 5 years. It's been half of a decade of me hating myself, and I don't know how to stop because that's all that I've done. But this is a step, right? Acknowledging this, accepting this, that things need to be different. They can't be this way. They can't. Who gives a shit why we're changing? That's been my whole focus, is, well, why should I change? Why should I change? Because I'm not happy. Because it don't work. Because I could be someplace else. Because I do have faith that there is something for me, that there's love for me out there, that there's a wife out there for me. I mean, she's existing right now, like doing her own thing, and I'm here, sad, down on myself, and I got to get myself to the point where I can be ready for her, where I can be ready for whoever it is that I keep asking for in my life, I keep wanting in my life, you know. And that's not to say that it's a person that's going to fix me or going to make me feel better, but I've been wanting somebody and I'm not even ready for it, and that's why I'm not getting it. I get it, bro. I get it. Like, that's why I'm not where I want to be, because deep down I don't feel like I'm there. Deep down I don't feel like I'm ready for it. If I did have a girlfriend, I'd fucking fumble it, you know? Just because I haven't gotten to the place where I need to be so that I can sustain something like that. And that's where I want to get. And so that's the moves I want to make. That's what I want to do, is fucking change so that way I can be able to afford all the things that I want, mentally and emotionally. Hating myself doesn't work. That's the bottom line. It's the bottom line, is that it's not getting me nowhere as a person. Nowhere that I want to be anyway. So regardless of whether or not I think I deserve to be happy, or I think I deserve love, or I deserve to care about myself again, regardless of how I feel, because I don't feel I deserve any of that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is affording space so that I can change, so that I can move. It doesn't matter how I feel towards myself. It matters what needs to happen. And what needs to happen is that I gotta stop hating myself. That's what needs to happen in order for me to see things differently, in order for me to feel things differently. That is the perspective that I gotta change. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. I'm gonna try and be positive. I'm gonna try to tell myself a different story than the one that I've been repeating for years, because it'll work. It'll work. If you keep telling yourself the same shit, you'll come to believe it. So I deserve love. I deserve happiness. I will find it. Life isn't pointless. It's not. That feels weird to say. Maybe it feels weird because it's true. Maybe it feels weird because it's a glimpse of hope somehow. It's a different feeling than I've been having. So we keep talking about the mushroom trip, me, Donnie, and Jake, and I would really like to do that. I am scared. It has been years, a year. It's been more than a year, I know that, but I don't know if it's been 2 yet, but it's been more than 1 for sure that I've tripped. And it's kind of a dilemma, because I keep feeling, especially now that I've stopped smoking, that taking things is not the way to go. Taking things is not the way to, you know, mushrooms, regardless of what you want to call it, because it can be seen in so many different lights, it's still a drug. The same way that medication is a drug. It's all, you know, anything that alters my mind state is a drug. And so to me, I'm hesitant, because mushrooms really do help. They, like, it is fresh snow on a used up, carved up mountain. You know, it really allows you to feel things and see things and accept it. Mushrooms, eating mushrooms is eating acceptance. That's what it is. That's all that mushrooms is. You eat mushrooms and all of a sudden your brain will allow you to go places that it has shut off for you, that it has told you you can't go, or it's too difficult for you to face, or too difficult for you to change. That's where mushrooms puts you. It allows you to think fresh, to see new. It gives you perspective on your situation. And I feel like I've gotten into such a rut over the last year and a half. And again, I feel like I'm just spinning my wheels in the fucking snow, because I'm doing things. I'm going to the gym. The shit I keep repeating 24/7, that I'm making efforts, but it doesn't feel like it's doing anything for me. So I'd like to trip, but I know it ain't gonna be easy. This will not. I know this trip is not going to be easy. This will be a difficult trip. Well, see, that's something I shouldn't be telling myself, because I don't know shit. I might be scared. It might be like Tyson says, no, 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 yeah. It's probably what it's gonna be like if I'm being honest. But yeah, I've just had, I guess, this dilemma mixed in with the fact that it is scary to trip again once you haven't done it in a while. That mixed with the fact that it's a drug and is diving deeper into my mind, diving deeper into my heart, going to be the right move for me to make, as opposed to putting everything down and trying to sober out and deal with everything myself. It's a really big dilemma to me, because I don't know which way is the right way for me. What's the proper thing to do? Is it bad if I go back to taking mushrooms to try and help me? Is that going in the opposite direction than I was going before? Um, but just knowing what it is that mushrooms themselves do, it just seems like that's like that would be useful for me right now. That would be beneficial. That would help uh, make way for change for me. So I think I want to. We haven't figured out anything about when or where, but I think it's something I should do. And the summer's coming soon, man. It's less than 2 months away, and truth is, I'm not prepped, but it feels like it's just so far, that I don't have to worry about it. But that's not the truth, I got to start prepping and changing and being better and being different now. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. I'm gonna make an effort to tell myself a different story, because that sounds like it feels good. That sounds like that is opening doors. That will give me space for new, as opposed to keeping myself locked into what I know. And so even if it feels like it's lying, or if it feels like I'm not telling the whole truth to myself, I'm gonna tell it, because at least it's something different. Something's got to change. Hate is not the answer for me. It's not. That can't be it. So I don't know how I'm gonna start loving myself. I don't know. Lord fucking knows, but I'm gonna make an effort to do it. So here's to that, whatever the hell that looks like. I really don't know. I mean, what's the actual change I'm gonna make? I'm just gonna stop bringing myself down in my head and telling myself that things are gonna change, and that I need things to change, and that things aren't changing. And I'm just gonna start trying to think differently. Just gonna shut out the hate, and every time it's the same way that, like, when I told myself that I was done being sad, it was like that. Like, it was really a choice that I was ready to make, and I was ready to pivot, and I stopped being sad because I saw it wasn't useful no more, And so I'm really hoping that this is the same situation, where it doesn't mean I'm never gonna hate myself again. It's something I'm gonna struggle with the rest of my life, but I shouldn't accept that. I shouldn't accept the hate. I shouldn't accept the low place that brings me to. I should combat that with everything that I have. Every time that I tell myself I hate myself, or that I don't deserve to be happy, or I don't deserve love, or I don't deserve a girlfriend, or I'm gonna tell myself that that's not true. That's something that I tell myself. That's something that the weed helped me believe. That's something else that Donovan said, that the longer that we go without smoke, the easier it'll be to not believe those stories, because that's what the smoke does, is helps reinforce those stories unto yourself. And so not that it'll be easier, but it'll be easier the longer that I go to try and change that story. Something I like that he said, thought that was a Kuma. Something I like that he said, oh, I lost it. Well, yeah, he just said that I've been believing all of this, all these things, I've been choosing to believe. So I'm gonna try and choose to believe something else, for the sake of myself, for Gregory, because as much as he doesn't feel I care about him, all these efforts that I'm putting in, all these videos right here are for him. They're because I want to try and help him. I want to try and lift him out of where he's at. I don't want him to be sad no more. I want him to feel worthy. I want him to know that love is a part of his life, that it's something I chose to take away from myself, not something that God has taken from me or Shalise took from me. It's me that took this away from myself. So I gotta love myself again. I gotta let him know that he is well worth it to me. So that's what the fuck I'm gonna do, baby. That's what the fuck I'm gonna do. So I love you. And keep your head up, bro. Things will change. They will. And now you know it. Now you can feel it when you're saying it, because we're going to make that effort. We're not gonna wait for the universe to change up on us. We're gonna change up on the universe, and the universe will follow suit. It's got nothing to do with God changing things for me. It's got to do with me changing for God, for me, because that's who I am. That's who I am. I am the God of this existence. I am the God of my reality. What I say is the truth, and that's why I've been so down, because I've been telling myself this is where I should be, and it's time for God to start telling me something different. Once I start loving myself, I'll feel that love from God, and truly. So I'm scared because, again, it's foggy. I don't know what the hell's in front of me. I really don't. It feels like it's stepping into a trap, you know. It's like when you're driving in fog, you have no clue if you're gonna smack into a car in front of you or if there's nobody even around you, you know. So we just gotta jump and make that move. March 7th, 8th. Who the fuck cares? I love you, and I will talk to you later, bro. Keep your head up.